When I got home from the bike ride, I informed Kathy that I was taking a hard look at my faith. She easily shrugged it off, confident of my spiritual foundation. I started reading Sacred Loneliness and discovered that Joseph Smith's practice of polygamy was not what I had been taught. I went to faithful Mormon historians to verify the claims. I met for 2 hours with 4 Farms scholars on the BYU campus. My worst suspicions were verified. What I had once dismissed as obvious rumor was in fact very well documented. An example of Joseph's deceit comes from one of my ancestors, Eliza Marie Partridge, who at the age of 22 married Joseph Smith on March 8, 1843. Her sister Emily Dow Partridge, age 19, had married Joseph, who Joseph was 37, just 4 days previous, and strict confidentiality reigned. They didn't know they were both married to the same man to start with. Both marriages remained unknown to Emma. A short time later, Emma agreed to allow Joseph to take other wives as long as she could choose them. She chose the Partridge sisters. But Emma, because she didn't know about the first marriage, there was a second marriage performed by Judge James Adam on May 11, 1943. Emma's approval soon waned, and in a matter of months she insisted that they move out of the house and out of the town. There was another story that probably had a much greater effect on me. It did, not probably. It was the story of Henry Jacobs, who, I'll spare you the whole thing, I'll just tell you sort of the middle part, who was going across the plains with his wife, Zina Diantha Huntington, and their 2 children. They had been married probably a couple of years, and the youngest child had just been born, was a month old, and Brigham Young called Henry Jacobs on a mission, partway across Nebraska. So he went. When he returned, he had no family. They were Brigham Young's. Now, I had a 1-year-old son, and another on the way, and if you don't think this didn't affect me, I thought, well, I wouldn't have taken that. And it was very, very hard on Henry Jacobs, and his letters over the years are heartbreaking. Story after story stunned me until I reached my limit, and silently and passionately I cursed both Joseph and Brigham for taking men's families away from them. Within a month of this bike ride, I concluded that the good ship Zion was not taking me to the promised land. But like Lot's wife fleeing Sodom, I could not depart without a backwards glance. Was there something amiss in my life that allowed me to be deceived? Was I just being really stupid? Would my still believing wife and our son pay a heavy price for an epic spiritual blunder on my part? A critical moment came one awful night following a conversation with Kathy. I hope that she would understand and share my views, but she did not. On this night of my greatest despair, like so many previous nights, sleep was impossible. My thoughts were in disarray. A lifetime of faith in the latter-day prophets and doctrines, once considered my most valuable possession, had vanished. My purpose in life was shaken to the core. In addition, I feared an alienation from my beloved family. Somehow I made it through the night, and a great many more. The debate with myself was hindered by intense emotion and unrecognized blinders from the past. but still was not without threads of reason and a hope for what new truths might offer. I was angry, I was afraid, I was utterly lost. It came time to notify my family. I wasn't one to hide things very well. I couldn't do it, so I just had to confront them. I wanted nothing of debate. I dreaded all 11 confrontations. I hoped that a personal visit or phone call, perhaps more difficult for us all, would do more to preserve our mutual respect and understanding. 48 hours later, after the last harrowing phone call, I felt a huge weight off my shoulders, though I would remain deeply disturbed for months. I appreciated my family's civility, although the loss of their favor and confidence was keenly felt. No doubt, they faced heroic struggles themselves upon hearing my announcement. The hell of heaven gone wrong had taken its toll, its initial toll. Still, I knew the journey had just begun. Kathy and I were orchestrating the family reunion for the last weekend in July, 1 month away. Some family members suggested that we cancel it. Others said that they would not be coming, out of fear for their children, no doubt. I was a respected, loved uncle. I took a wild guess at the silent thoughts of the rest. But over the next few weeks, feelings mellowed a little and they talked me into coming. A week later, I flew out with my family of just my wife and oldest son to Illinois to visit Chris, who insisted that we come out to visit. I was particularly close to Chris. He was also a mathematician, and I think he thought that he could do some good, and I just wanted to keep a close relationship with someone in the family. He had some questions, and then he listened a little bit, and then we didn't talk anymore. I concluded 1 month later, I concluded that neither Chris nor anyone else in the family had further interest in my reasons for leaving the church. In the afternoon of September 8th, I received an alarming phone call from a sister. It lasted only seconds and went as follows: "I am angry at you. You are a wicked, wicked person." She gave no opportunity for response. A call from a brother followed within 3 or 4 minutes. It lasted a little longer and was just as troubling. It went something as follows: "I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't want to see you again. I don't want any letters or emails from you. If you write a letter for the family newsletter, I will not send it out. I don't want you coming to visit on the 19th. I still love you, but I don't ever want to see you again." This was particularly difficult because this brother was one that I had worked hard on to get active in the church. I had been on this peak trying to get him to come over, and he had come, and now I was over here, and I couldn't blame him for being upset.